And here we go. Good evening from Ulverston Rugby's podcast. Today we have, on our second podcast, we have Captain Fantastic from Ulverston Rugby, Les Saunders. Les, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, we're all good here. So the idea of them, I'm just going to have a little bit of a chat with you, Les, and we'll just see where this goes. You know, people are interested in your views and thoughts. So come on, tell us everybody about yourself and your family. How are you set up?
With me, so my family. Obviously, I've got my little girl Reva and my partner Levi. Obviously, I think everyone will probably know the rest of my family. They're all that really involved with the rugby, but so we've got my dad, the number one linesman, I think, for Ulverston in history. I've got my older brother. Oh, he's a unique character, isn't he? My mum Janice, and then obviously my elder brother Mark, who used to play at the club, and my younger brother Connor, who also played for us until he decided to leave. So yeah,
go on, mate.
Go on, what you saying?
So you're a newly formed dad, are you?
Yeah, newly formed, mate. She's 20 months old and she's bloody raged. Don't know where she gets it from.
I wonder.
But honestly, she's brilliant. She keeps us on our toes. It's just like every day. It's a different day. You know what I mean? She's constantly learning, just getting dafter and dafter. So yeah, it's good fun. It's just you can't remember what you used to do before them.
That's what happens, mate. I'm afraid that's what happens. And that crazy dad of yours, you mentioned him, Rob, one of the angriest touch judges I've ever come across in my life.
Oh, honestly, he's definitely unique when he's got that flag in his hand. But to be fair, he was always like that. When we were kids and that, we used to go and watch him play football. And Christ Almighty, it was a mad man on that pitch.
Wonder who it takes out. Well, that's where you've got it from, mate. Well, that's lovely. It's really good to see you. You know, a young family coming on, and that's fantastic. So, come on, tell me now, or the rest of the guys, about your rugby career. How did that all take off?
So my rugby career started. I was a bit late to it, to be honest. What I'd been about 12, I think, and we just started secondary school. And Mark, my older brother, was playing at the time, and then Joe Miller, actually, I got friends with Joe when I went to secondary school. He was playing for Ulverston at the time, and he kind of just said to me, "Why don't you come and give it a bit of a shot?" I'd tried football and that before, but it probably wasn't best suited for me. So at that age, I went down, started playing at Ulverston, and then went right through the minis. And I'm not going to lie, we were absolutely dreadful as a side. We were awful. We used to get hammered every week. When a couple of games started, it was just just transitioned into the open age at 16. I played the open age from that'd be 2010 to 2014, and then I had a year over in Australia in Cooma, which was awesome, to be honest. A good life experience, something I always wanted to do, and I always wanted to make sure I went and did something like that and didn't regret it later in my life. So then I came back and I actually signed for Millham for one game. And then that was in 2016, played for Millham for a season. Well, for a game, sorry. One Challenge Cup game. Decided to come back to Ulverston, then spent that season at Ulverston, then moved on again. Had a couple of years at Askham, which again was brilliant. We had a real good side, played some good games, played in the Challenge Cup. It was a good set of lads, and we played some good rugby down there. And then back in 2019, it was back to Ulverston. And then obviously at that time, I think I only played about 3 games, and then blew my knee out. And then we had COVID, and then ever since we've just kind of got back to it. But it's mad really, because it's gone that quick. I think it's about my 13th, 14th year at open age now, and it just seems to have gone like the click of your fingers.
Well, you know, one thing about that, it feels as if you've been around for years and years and years, but you're still actually relatively young. You know, playing the game, Les, you know, you've got plenty of years left inside you yet.
Yeah, it does feel like I've been around forever, mate. It's quite mad, actually. You look at some of the younger lads now, and it's crazy. And I look at some of the old lads I used to play with, and some of the birthdays they're having now. And I'm like, fucking hell, am I that old now myself? It
You're
just
about
it does.
Millsy there. You're not Millsy. Millsy in his
Oh
40s.
Christ, yeah. No, it's just. I'll be honest though. Once you start playing, you get into the open age. I think it's kind of your adult lifetime just goes quick. The years do just fly by, and you go from being in the early 20s, then next thing you know, it's like I've just turned 30, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. And when you have kids as well, mate, it goes even quicker. Trust me, it really, really does. But great.
Oh,
Look, Les, you like we said, you've been around for quite a few years now, but you're still relatively young as a forward, especially. But what motivates you to continue playing?
I think though you just enjoy being around the lads. It's always a good atmosphere. It's one of them things. I think with the team sport, when you play team sport so long, you look forward to being in them environments. The training that you've over the winter and that, it's kind of you're a bit lost with what to do with yourself. You keep yourself fit with the gym and that, but it's been around everyone. It's probably more the banter and that you have with everyone. Everyone's constantly just taking the piss out of each other. It's what it's all about, and that's what you miss.
Yeah, it really is a way of life, isn't it? And a lot of the rugby players who are probably going to be watching this absolutely get it. It is a drug in a way, and to break it
Oh,
down is really difficult.
no, it is big time, and you speak to a lot of lads who've retired and that, and they see how hard it is. But it's just trying to find things to kind of fill your time with, and we're now probably it's quite weird because when I first came through at open age, we were always going away this dead young team, and now most of the lads are still kind of around from that era, but we're the complete opposite now. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
We're all
yeah.
getting
So
on towards probably the last stages, and it just I don't know. I think we all still think we're that young, which you do
Les,
still
it
feel.
never changes, mate. Honestly, it never ever changes. Even now, when I'm driving home in the car, I'm thinking, one of these games, if we go away and we're short, and they need somebody to pop on the wing, and there's a last minute kick at goal, and they let me, and it goes through my head all the time, mate. And so it never ever leaves you. Anyhow, so
Nah.
brilliant the way your attitude to the game. But that really leads by example. And your expectations of other players, what are they?
I suppose my expectations, like with anything, you just want people to turn up and give it their all, and that's all you can ask. Mistakes that'll always happen, and things will always go wrong. But if everyone's got the right intention and they want to turn up for each other, that's all my ask would be. Anything other than that, you can put unnecessary pressure on people. If everyone turns up, and I think there was a game last year we played, I think it was Springview away, and that was kind of what the effort level you'd expect. We went away and we took a bit of a hammering really, but everyone just put the effort in. It was a horrible day, and they're the kind of games you're kind of proud to play in.
Yeah, get that. So Gaz discussed when we had a chat there a couple of weeks back about the culture at the club and what he wants to bring to the club. What are your views on that?
I think we're just trying to get everyone back together and get everyone working together, doing a lot more together, and try and drive a positive culture. Positive both by making lads train and want to be there. You know what I mean? If you want to get good as a team, you all need to be at training. You need to keep working hard. You need to be doing your stuff away from rugby, especially amateur. You can't a good amateur team a lot of times just really fit. You know what I mean? If you get everyone and everyone's on that same level and looking after themselves and working hard off the field, you'll find it a lot easier on an amateur because a lot of players don't do that. So that's what Gaz is trying to drive in. He's trying to drive as well. Some of the stuff Gaz has done with the core skills has been brilliant. I know me myself, it's kind of took you right back to I wish I'd had that at the start of my career more.
Yeah. You know what? And what I find with Gaz as well, it's his enthusiasm, his energy, and his willingness to say no. At some time point, this young lad's trained all this last month or so. He gets his shot, and I think that's really impressive. And it's a risk at times as well, isn't it? But he actually is quite happy to go through with that.
No, yeah, definitely. And we've had a lot of lads. To be honest, we must go through a hellish amount of players over the years and that. So you've got to give lads. Sometimes you'll have someone who'll be there for short periods and will disappear, and it's like constant revolving door at Ulverston. I think with players, they just seem to turn up, move on, turn back up, and you never know who's going to be there.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's a one-town club as well, isn't it? So, like you say, you sometimes we are able to get all sorts of different lads in. Okay, we'll move it on, Les. Okay, so we've got two Aussie lads come over. All right, so give us your views and thoughts on how that is panning out and your expectations there.
Oh mate, they're two good boys. They're bloody daft as a bush, like, and they seem, to be honest, they seem to just taken over like a duck to water. Seem to be fitting in. They just don't seem bothered. They're the most chilled boys you'll ever meet, like, and obviously on the field, I know when we watched the Roos game, they were the difference. To be honest, Jack can just kind of create something from nothing, and Jai's just got that control around the game. I mean, you know what I mean, control around the ruck. He just seems to make everything look easy.
Yeah, so it's a good point. That's something we picked up on when you're watching him. So it feels as if it's down to us to lift our game to Jai's sort of like level. He's thinking quicker than we are.
Oh, big time. There's a point in that Roos game, and Roos were kind of coming back into it, and Jai kicked from our own half, and it landed right down on their goal line. It kind of changed the game. It just could watch the Roos lads, and they just didn't want to get back, and it was draining. But
Yeah.
it's just, for me, it's just smart enough. He's that good around the ruck. Lads just have to make sure they're hitting the holes for him. You know what I mean? He's holding them markers. He's a very clever player. You just have to play up with them lads.
And I think you did right there, Les. What we found on one or two of the games, and it must be frustrating for especially for Jai, maybe not so much for Jack, but certainly for Jai, is that sometimes the runners aren't quite there at times, or the timing isn't quite right, and that's certainly an area I think if we improve that with you coming back in, then certainly that'll help Jai out.
Oh, definitely, mate. But the thing is, with a pack, like, a pack's only as good as its nine. If you have a good nine as forwards, you can be made to look a hell of a lot better. You know what I mean? They can do half the work for you.
Absolutely, and I've had a few conversations with other people saying, well, this expense to bring them across and to do this, and we're a small club, and funding it and all this. But my view on this, and see what you think about it, is that they go at the end of the season, but what they leave behind, hopefully, in the likes of say Eddie Goodson, can learn so much from these guys. Cat can learn so much from how Jack hits the ball up. So it leaves a positive behind as well.
Well, I think Cat is learning things, living with Jack, innit? Picking up some tips from what
We can't cover that in here, though, I don't think, mate. Oh, we could have.
But no, it is, mate. They'll all learn from it. And to be honest, Stars has done a great job with getting him over and the effort he's put in.
Yeah.
Even though he's bottled doing this because he's camera shy, but we'll go into that later on.
Yeah, we'll
sort
him out.
The thing is, though, that's what we want, Al. You want lads to come over and experience. I know from going and doing it myself, like the life experience Jack and Jai will get, will stay with them. And obviously, previously when we had Jolie over, like Jolie became like almost like a cult figure in the town by the time he left.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, allegedly, and it probably isn't true. However, Jack was spotted doing the old walk of shame through Greg's on early on one of the mornings after a night out. But we'll maybe not cover that one. Maybe I'll discuss that with him when we have him on the podcast. Anyway, great stuff. Yeah, I think I'll ask the hard question when it comes to it. So anyway, let's come back to you a bit, Les. Okay, so your most memorable game in general, and then the one for Ulverston.
I'll be honest, I won't be able to pinpoint one. I've had quite a few, you know what I mean? Most memorable, I'll start with Ulverston ones. Most memorable one for Ulverston would be Barton Town last year's got to be up there.
Yeah.
To finally win that for Ulverston, it was massive. And then I think the other one for Ulverston would have to be, I think it was 2013, we won down against Folly Lane down at Eccles, and Stars kicked a drop goal that it was that windy that day. I think their lad nearly climbed the post and knocked it back before it went over. It was bloody mental, but I had to say they'd have to be the two for me for Ulverston. Then, other than that, I've been looking to play quite a few for the county, and went away like an England team a good few years ago now. We played out in Canada before, like Toronto and that, and I remember playing out there as well. I think there's about 5,000 people watching and playing there. It was just quite funny because as an amateur, you get a bit of stick, but out there you're going back for kick-offs, and the stick you were getting was just hilarious. You couldn't stop laughing. But you could see the sport kicking off, and it's a pity it never kicked off over there fully. But yeah, they're probably the ones for me, Al, to be honest. We had some good times at Askham as well. We went to Townley finals and Challenge Cups and whatnot.
Yeah, I think when you guys went to Askham, because there was quite a few, didn't there, went at the same time to Askham, and you couldn't blame you guys, because that at the time was a really, really strong side for Askham. You know, and I guess you really enjoyed that.
Oh, mate, loved it. I don't like, you know what I mean? Sometimes people say you get to do something, I don't. It was, at the time, it gave you that chance to play in the national conference and doing that. I think it'd only been a few years earlier, like I say, I'd been out to Oz and experienced that. And you kind of probably looking for that next little buzz and different experience. And it provided that, you know what I mean? We had a great side. It's quite sad now to see Askham in this kind of, well, I know they're rebuilding now, but how many years it took them to get back there.
Yeah, it is a real shame. That, I mean, it's a shame for Walney as well are in the same sort of position, aren't they, at the moment? You know, the local amateur setup is really struggling.
Yeah, it is sad because like you're going back 10 years ago. I know it sounds a long time ago now, but Walney used to have a brilliant side when we went in that Cumbria League around that time. Walney were a brilliant team. They're winning everything. You know what I mean? They decide to beat locally. It's just hard to keep, and that's what I hope we can do. I know we invest a lot in like mini rugby and that. But that's what you've got to do, haven't you? Try and keep kids playing.
That brings on the next question about the development of the club and your views and thoughts on how Ulverston are developing as a not just a side but as a club itself.
Oh, I think over the last, I'd say, 3-4 years, we've done more than we have in the previous probably 10 I've been involved in the club. I think with Papa Starr, since he's retired, and the club's gone from strength to strength with him bloody spending a full-time job down the pitch, doing whatever, vaping and happy as anything. But you know what I mean? He's what he's done with the bowling green, having that, also having a own little facility to go back to at games. Yeah, it's not what other clubs have, but sadly we've never had anything, so it's just a starting point. Hopefully, going in the future, we can have our clubhouse, but it's just baby steps to kind of get the ball rolling.
You're dead right, mate. I mean, I know we went for it for a while back for the clubhouse, and what we found, because it's on South, when we were South Lakeland, we just weren't entitled to anything. It was classed as an affluent area, you know, whereas other teams were able to get grants, all sorts of great stuff, you know, to help build their side up. So you're dead right. It's really difficult and frustrating to actually try and make some money. But you're right, and also I think Tosh Story as well. Tosh Story's another one.
Oh, Tosh Winfield.
Tosh Winfield has been
Tosh has
wonderful
been
in this.
brilliant. Tosh has been brilliant, and some of the stuff he's done, like I think he's got together quite a big committee now, and everyone's buying into it and doing a lot of stuff. And like Nige did an amazing job with the club, and you know what I mean, got us on this path to start going where we're going to. And I think from when, like I say, I first started the club to now, we've definitely progressed. It's just hard now. The hardest bit probably now is in this generation is keeping people playing, keeping lads involved. You seem, especially probably from that age to 16 to 20 now, we lose that many players. There's so much going on, especially with summer rugby. It is hard to keep everyone involved and interested.
And other teams are suffering exactly the same. I mean, you look at Barrow Island, you know, to take them for example. You know, I mean, their players. I mean, once they lost Adam Jackson as well, and what was coming through for them, they were really struggling as well.
Yeah, I think every team goes through it. I know we'll have points in the season that where it's hard work getting a squad together, especially when festivals start, holidays. It's hard work, but you can't expect people to almost have the full summer on hold for it. It's difficult. I know myself with a family and that. When you've got stuff planned, you sadly at times can't cancel for certain things. You try your best, but there's always times where it's difficult to do it.
It's a balance, isn't it? Absolute balance. Home life got to come first, obviously. Otherwise, we get nagged to death. Then after that, we make it rugby. Right, here's a question for you then, Les. Okay, so Ulverston Rugby on tour. Who would be your roomie and why?
Who would be my roomie? I would have said Stars, but he's abandoned me on this.
And why would that be?
He's just easy, isn't he? You know what you're going to get from him. He's good value and daft, and either him or probably little Sam, because he's just Sam Williams, because he can just keep you entertained all day. You know what I mean? He's just a funny little character to be around.
He's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah, it would have been Stars, but we'll sack him off, seeing as though he's hung me out to dry here by himself.
You're damn right, mate. Yeah. I know he's gone for some little operation, which is going to keep him out, apparently.
Yeah, but he's promised he's going to do his podcast next, hasn't
he? Yeah. We'll see. Okay, so who mourns the most on the pitch, Mark or Matty?
Oh, Christ. I'd say it
Don't
depends if they're both playing together. If they're both playing together, probably at each other. It's like when me and Ches used to play together. It's just like a brotherly clash, isn't it? You can't take it away. It's like with these kids, when your kids fighting on the sofa again.
But who mourns more?
Yeah.
Who mourns more, Matty or Mark?
Oh.
Come on.
Who am I going to say? I'll say Matty for it then. Because Matty will moan at Mark if he's not done
congratulations.
Because he'll moan at Mark if he's not doing something right, and it's funny to watch.
He is, he gets frustrated for all the right reasons, but he gets frustrated as out. Okay, worst trainer, but great player. Worst trainer, but great player.
Christ almighty. Who's the worst trainer?
But a good player.
I'm going to say, because he could be great, Brad Willie. Yeah. Brad's just Brad. When he's on,
you know what? I had two for that one. So I had Brad and I had Smeds. Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan's the same. Rowan's got it there. He's got all the ability. Same as Brad. And Brad, when he gets his head into it, it's brilliant. Same with Rowan, like at the weekend when they're both playing. They're both great players.
Yeah, excellent players, mate. Totally agree with you. Best up-and-coming player?
Best up-and-coming? I think Charlie and Eddie, both looking good. I think they're going to be good lads going forward. That's it. There's so many, mate, you know what I mean? All the young lads. And I think it's quite hard to pinpoint like too many, because you can develop so much. You know what I mean? From when you turn in 16 to 20, someone who you might think isn't going to go on and do something good goes on and does something good. I know, like we said, it probably took me until I was 19, 20 to really kicked into gear. And quite a few lads like that, you know what I mean? They develop later, so it's quite hard to say, but there's a stack of lads there that are going to go good.
No, I think you got a really good point there. So the two lads, I always say the same thing about them both. Charlie, get to the gym.
Yeah, he needs to.
Gym, Charlie.
He just needs to get his ass out of the house, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's the Xbox or whatever it is. And Eddie, I think Eddie's got something which could really, really develop brilliantly. And he just needs to work at it as well and be that committed guy. So I think you picked two good ones there, mate. Okay, so
I think
another question. Go on, mate.
No, I was just saying, going back to your point before, I think Eddie will learn a lot off Jai. I think it's a good opportunity this year for him to have a proper learning experience with Jai and watch what he does, and it'll be only positive for him.
100% agree with that, mate. And that's one of the positives of bringing these guys over for somebody like Eddie, isn't it? To learn off and develop his own game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, next question then, Les. Boxing. Who would you love to box from another club?
Christ. You know what I'm going to say? Because you don't shut up, Adam Jackson, because he's a pain in the ass. He's a great lad. He's a job shot.
Yeah. Absolutely get that, mate. Absolutely get that.
Prime
Jack, I
candidate.
hope you're watching this sunshine. There's a gauntlet thrown down to you.
Oh, yeah, if you're
December.
watching it, because he's an absolute rugby, like, tragic. He'll watch everything. Half the time when we
I'll tell
finish
you
playing,
what.
he'll go on,
You
Al.
know, if Adam Jackson's going to watch this, tell him he can come and do a podcast with us.
Oh, get him
Adam,
on. He will name every rugby player that's played for Barrow in the past 25 years.
He'll put everybody to sleep as well, he sounds like. All right. Okay. So, let's just go back to it again. We've got just another 5 minutes for your time, Les. So, your fundraising, your plans for this year?
So the plans this year, obviously, last couple of years, it's become a bit of a tradition now with the self-proclaimed sloths. We're planning on doing the Cumbria Way over 2 days, which is going to be a massive ask, you know what I mean? I think it's bloody about 75 miles, but we just feel like the first one we did was a bike ride around all the clubs that we raised money for a young lad in Walney who was going through a bit of a tough time. And then, obviously, last year we did it for the Special Babe Care unit, which for all the lads who just had kids was pretty special. It raised a lot of money there. So we just kind of want to keep the momentum going. And we felt like we were building with the challenges. So we did that first one, the bike ride, and then the Three Peaks was kind of a step up. And then doing the Cumbria Way, that's a step up again. Especially over 2 days, it's going to be brutal. It's like walking the Keswick to Barrow, waking up again and trying to do it again. So
I'd love to join you, but I've got gout.
Well, there's plenty of spaces, mate, so you're more than welcome.
I'll come on my motorbike and I'll back up with water and everything. That's wonderful. I mean, like I say, let's not play this down a bit. You know, £11,000 for the special baby care unit in Barrow from you guys doing that, you know, can be life changing for people. And you know, you can't shy away from how good that is, Les.
No, you can't, mate. And I know when we went into the actual like baby care unit, and I know from my own experience, it was a couple of rooms up from where we were when we went in when Levi went into labour. You know what I mean? So you were so close to it, and to be able to kind of gift them that money, and they bought a bit of equipment, and I think it's supposed to have an Ulverston Rugby League plaque on it, so people get to see that when they're in there. So it's pretty special, dude. It's good from the club, you know what I mean? I think over the years, the boxing that I'll organise and all that, like the amount of money we've given to charities, madness. Because when you think we're a charity ourselves as such, you know what I mean? We have to generate the money each year to keep running. So to be able to give back as well has been massive.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to do a little top up a while back now to see, you know, including what you guys have done, and it was up beyond £70,000 as an amateur club we've given back over the years, somewhere round about there, maybe somewhere round about that. But it's a hell of a lot of money, you know, thrown back into and that's something as a club, you know, we need to be really proud of that because that's what it's all about. So, any shout outs to your committee members on that one?
Oh, to be fair, everyone on the committee who gets involved in stuff like that. And another one was a prime one, like the committee helped with massive when we did the St Mary's Hospice one last year, where we went in there and knocked their garden to pieces, and you know what I mean, give people when they're probably worse. Well, obviously, you're in hospice, it's not really it's a difficult time for everyone, family members, to give them a nice area to be able to spend them last few moments, and that's pretty cool, you know what I mean? And we've contributed to that, but all the committee have always heavily involved, and all when we go to do the softs again, everyone will get involved and be keen and do whatever they can and help us with all like the logistical aspect of stuff. And yeah, I won't be able to pinpoint certain people, mate. It's everyone, you know what I mean? Everyone walks in, that's how we work as a club.
No, that's absolutely brilliant, Les. Right, to bring it to a bit of a close for you. Who thinks they're gorgeous down the club?
Oh, Bayless.
And my next question was, who has turkey teeth and a lovely tan? Is that Bayless again, by
Well, I think you've just answered that again, haven't you? Big shout out. I'll get a message. I can go into you later on. I'll get a message off him saying, "You bastard." Well, it's got to be him.
Oh, absolutely. But he is beautiful, isn't he? He is beautiful.
Oh, it's summer.
Okay, last question then. So, your views on the Barton Townley final this year?
Yeah, it should be a good one. None of them have always been a good side. Like Christ, Millom must have been the most finals of any club. It's always been tough. Like the last couple of years, we've played them in the semis, and we've had 2 bloody hard games. But they've been 2 good games to play, and you know what I mean. They're enjoyable. We just managed to pip them both times, but like the games could have gone either way. You know, with a Midland side, they're going to turn up and they're going to be tough. You know what I mean? You don't play against an easy Midland side. It doesn't matter what level it's at.
No, brilliant, Les. No, great. Look, it's been great speaking to you tonight, Les. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks for coming and joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it.
No, it's been good, mate. I can go get my tea now. I'm bloody starving.
And just remember, a ginger is not just for Christmas.
Yeah, I'll send Levi that after.
All right, guys. Well, look, thanks very much, Les. I'll let you get back to your tea and you go and get that babby sorted out.
Right, nice one. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Good night.
See you later.